Covering the islands of the Bahamas, ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news is brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Regional telecoms experts gathering in South Florida in hopes of transforming the sector. Good evening, I'm Opal Roach sitting in for Keishla Adley, and this is The Bahamas Tonight. Topping the news, taking the telecommunications sector to the next level is the main focus of Canto. Canto is a Caribbean network pushing to become the leading authority in shaping information and communication technology throughout the region. Encouraging the group to do just that was our country's leader. As he delivered the keynote address at the Florida conference, he told regional partners that our local telecom sector is changing and quality service is a priority. Altamise Munnings has more from that conference.
110 members in 33 countries on 4 continents signals the impact Canto has made on regional communications since its inception in 1984. 2 Bahamians, the late Robert Bartlett and Leon Williams, chaired this organization. That fact, coupled with the notion that broadband is now being considered crude oil of the 21st century, Prime Minister Perry Christie, in his keynote address at Canto's 28th Annual Conference and Trade Show in Miami on Sunday, outlined some facts and challenges that regional telecommunication providers must face to enhance the way we communicate.
In some cases, the IDB said high trade tariffs make imported computers, smartphones, and wireless devices more expensive for businesses and individuals, limiting the expansion of broadband usage. The IDB said that the digital divide, and I quote, is even starker among and within countries of the region, particularly when comparing coverage in urban and rural areas.
Mr. Christie's last Canto address was back in 2003, and he recognized that telecommunications has truly transformed since then. The Prime Minister gave Canto delegates some background on the Bahamas Telecommunications Company and its influence on the region, particularly during his last term in office, when BTC generated $135 million in the bank in 2007 and connected 4 fiber optic submarine cables, including Haiti. Mr. Christie boasted that every major island in the Bahamas is now connected by a broadband fiber optic submarine cable network.
My government came to office in 2002. There were 40,000 cellular customers in the Bahamas. 5 years later, there were over 300,000 cellular customers, representing over 100% penetration. As you are well aware, a majority stake in BTC was sold by my predecessors to Cable and Wireless, and with it, executive control over BTC as well. I am to inform you that my government was elected with a mandate to take all lawful means to recapture majority ownership of BTC, and I expect that discussions towards that objective will soon begin.
But Mr. Christie inspired Canto to envision the region as a part of the 21st century supply chain, like Singapore, South Korea, and India, where economic diversification rules. He also noted that the region's telecommunications sector can model that of Apple computers, that made $1 billion a week in December 2011 and acquired $110 billion cash in the bank last month.
Tell us, policymakers, what we need to do to protect our national sovereign borders, and I mean our virtual borders, from the industrial sabotage and cyber terrorism. Focus on that and those, and tell us what you think we have to do.
Prime Minister Christie further challenged Canto's executives, members and stakeholders to expand and make reality its conference theme of accelerating broadband to truly elevate regional telecommunications to the next level. Reporting from the 28th Annual Canto Conference at the Hyatt Regency Miami in downtown Miami, Florida, I'm Altaviz Munnings, ZNS News.
Now, immediately after Canto's opening, Prime Minister Christie cut the ribbon to officially open Canto's exhibition and trade show, featuring telecom providers from around the world. Among the big names, BlackBerry, Ericsson, Cable and Wireless, and Digicel. Well, fishermen calling on authorities to protect their livelihood as it's threatened by foreigners. Today, the angry businessmen met with the Marine Minister in hopes of bringing some sort of resolve to a long-standing issue. Shanique Miller has that story.
Fishermen are continuing their crusade for help. Their issue, an industry flooded with Dominican fishermen, out fishing and often stronger than Bahamian fishermen who have every right to fish Bahamian waters. It's something government has been looking at for several months now. But now, the industry's new minister is taking it a step further. He will go to the Dominican Republic to meet with the government of that country.
To ensure that they are aware of the problems we face from their nationals and seek to partner with them to educate their people into knowing what we are saying here, they are saying there. And if the government of the Dominican Republic could just educate their nationals, we believe that they will not leave home knowing that they may not come back.
Now, while that's being planned, it appears the real battle is closer to home than anyone expects. Some fishermen say Defense Force Marines are intentionally not policing the waters. The fishermen told Agriculture and Marine Resources Minister V. Alfred Gray the Defense Force is steeped in corruption, oftentimes aiding the Dominicans.
When I see the Dominicans, I call them. They'll be there 4 or 5 days, and if you see them pull anchor this morning, I get the head defense force to be there that afternoon. If you see them move the afternoon, the defense force could be, and they all they go is go in the ocean, and when the defense force maybe patrol 2 days, they go back. You see them come right back in.
Gray admitted to hearing the allegations for the first time, but he didn't brush them off. In fact, he urged fishermen to come forward with any proof they may have.
I would really hate to believe that there are members of the Defense Force who will do something like that to their country, because it is the height of corruption. If there is anybody who can help us to catch one Defense Force officer, we don't need too many. We just need one to make an example, because that cannot be tolerated. Certainly, I know if the Commodore knows that his men are involved in anything like that, he has to take some kind of step to curb that.
Now, even as officials grappled with allegations of corruption by Defense Force officers, they were stunned when fingers turned toward them. According to fishermen, Department of Fisheries workers, too, are involved in a racket of their own.
Listen, hear this on the radio, hear it voice out.
There are officers in my ministry selling dive permits. Mr. Delaveau, you hear that?
One by one, fishermen told of their woes, some even involving Bahamian fishermen fighting among themselves.
While I'm sparing my condos, we have guys them coming and pulling my hose, cutting up my diving hose on the bottom and stuff like that. As a man of God, but you know police out there, that means automatically I become violent.
I want to discourage you fishermen from getting involved in seeking to arrest, and I think I'm taking this cue from what you said. It is dangerous for you to take on a foreign boat which may have guns on it.
Bahamian boats now.
Bahamian boats, I don't want violence on the sea.
Another issue on the table? Compressor permits and granting rights to non-Bahamians. Gray says he will revisit the policy that bans foreigners who fall under special circumstances from getting one. Shanique Miller, ZNS News.
Well, they're on the front line of the hospitality business, and they want to ensure that the tourists they cater to are in a safe environment. That's why ferryboat operators are participating in a special seminar learning how to minimize accidents at sea. Fern Kiri has the story.
Ferryboat operators are among the first people visitors come in contact with when they visit the country. It's one of the reasons they're among the first group participating in a campaign promoting a culture of safety in the maritime industry. And that safety campaign involves improving the national and international image of the Bahamas' shipping industry by raising awareness among stakeholders on how to minimize accidents and near misses at sea. Transport Minister Glenys Hannah Martin.
You in this industry must police yourselves and collectively and individually inculcate a culture of safety that penetrates every activity of your operations. Best practices must become second nature. The Port Department will spearhead recurrent training and sponsor educational and refresher programs such as this in this ministry's uncompromising commitment to the creation of a culture of safety. And so you can also expect the Port Department to be firm and consistent in the enforcement of these standards.
With some 80 ferryboat operators on record and that number continuing to grow, Commander Patrick McNeil wants operators to take some safety tips to the sea.
To commit yourself to a pledge, and that pledge is not to drink. To never operate under the influence while boating. To show support to others by not drinking or using substance, and influence others to make good decisions.
During the week-long seminar, ferryboat operators will also have a say on how to improve the industry moving forward. It's a move Ferryboat Association President Yvette Turnquest applauds.
The Glass Bottom Ferryboat Association, we transport hundreds of passengers from Paradise Island, the Nassau side, Nassau to Paradise Island, daily. We are the biggest water transportation. In Nassau also, we also transport the most passengers daily.
Meantime, a comprehensive review of the maritime industry is expected to take place in the near future with a view of modernizing the industry. Farron Carey, ZNS News.
From the courts, 23-year-old Tino Adley facing a judge today charged with murder. He's accused of killing Ulrich Marshall 3 months ago. Adley, wearing the long-sleeve shirt, was not required to enter a plea and has been remanded to prison. The matter will be fast-tracked to the Supreme Court, eliminating the need for a pretrial in the lower court. Also from the court, 30-year-old Giovanni Roberts, wearing the Nike shirt, faces 2 counts of abetment to commit murder in the cases of Giomarcio Jones and Clayton Daniels. He was not required to enter a plea and has been remanded to prison. His matter will also be sent directly to the Supreme Court. Well, more abandoned homes torn down as authorities clean up areas plagued by crime. It's all a part of Urban Renewal 2.0. Now, Urban Renewal is not just about demolishing buildings, it's also about empowering people. Cyan Thompson has the story.
It's becoming a familiar action, and it's in keeping with Urban Renewal 2.0, the demolition of abandoned buildings, removal of derelict vehicles, and the clearing down of overgrown properties. Fort Charlotte's Urban Renewal Office selected 3 structures on Corey Mission Road to be destroyed. Manager of the office, Inspector Denzel Barr, says they received permission first from the owners before carrying out these demolitions.
It was critical to us from a crime perspective. In terms of the one building in particular, it was used some weeks ago to store some items reportedly taken in a housebreaking from a resident just near to that location. During the police investigation, we covered a number of items. So to remove that particular house was to remove a safe haven for criminals within the community. And 1 or 2 of the others were almost conducive of that same type of atmosphere. So it's about making it difficult for criminals to operate.
Inspector Barr says there's been little crime in the area, pointing out several incidents that police investigated.
In the last several weeks, based on crime, we have had no serious major incidents of a concern report. There was 1 or 2 housebreakings, like I indicated, which are in the last 4 or 5 weeks, which is very minimal. In terms of domestic complaints, we hadn't had much of those at all. Persons have come into our urban renewal center rather than going to the police station and asking us advice on situations. So we are actually encouraging persons to come to us and whereby to deal with matters from a conflict resolution standpoint.
In addition to reducing crime and building communities, the Fort Charlotte Urban Renewal Office is also helping in conflict resolution with residents in the area before it becomes a criminal matter.
In terms of domestic complaints, we hadn't had much of those at all. Persons have come into our urban renewal center rather than going to the police station and asking us advice on situations. So we are actually encouraging persons to come to us and whereby to deal with matters from a conflict resolution standpoint. So we find that there were 1 or 2 domestic matters that we had looked into so that it won't escalate.
The Fort Charlotte office is also assisting residents with job readiness.
Persons are indicating that, hey, they have difficulty with work, and it's like, how can they be positively engaged? So we find that we're trying to get various programs on stream to have them positively engage or to prepare them for work in the future.
Officers at the Urban Renewal Center here in Fort Charlotte are continuing with their work. Now in the future, they have other areas that they plan to clear down. They are on Eaton Street, Johnson Park Street, and Boyd Road. Cyan Thompson, ZNS News.
Well, area MP Dr. Andre Rawlings participated in the walkabout in Fort Charlotte today. He expressed a number of concerns, including one about T.G. Glover Primary School.
Children are forced to stay within the confines of the school building. So, and then also from an environmental health standpoint, if we are faced once again with a dengue outbreak, it puts at risk the residents in this surrounding area. And so, you know, for $11+ million, I think we could have done a far better job of ensuring that the school was properly outfitted for the use of the students who attend the school.
And still to come, cutting-edge surgery at Doctors Hospital, and you won't believe what it means in the pain department. That and more in a moment.